Business ownership is the best way to build wealth, and buying a business is the fastest way to get there. We hear a lot of influencers say they'd never buy into a franchise. And we get that, and in most cases, we wouldn't either. But there are circumstances where we would consider buying into a franchise unit, or even better, a package of franchise units that are already up and running and producing cash flow. And franchise resales are perfect for a lot of our clients. They're easy to run, they have good programs in place, the marketing and everything's already taken care of for you. And when you buy into one that's already cash flowing versus starting one, you know what you're getting day one. You already know what the numbers look like. You don't have to guess like you do when you're starting fresh. And lenders love that. They love knowing what the cash flow is going to be. The argue against them is they're a little more rigid. You don't get to use the creativity that goes into the marketing campaign or really doing things the way that you want to do them. Some buyers like that. They don't want to run the marketing. They don't want to create all the processes. They just want to buy something that's going to be simple to run and produce cash flow. You know, here's an example of a franchise that we would consider buying. And this one's actually a restaurant, which I know turns a lot of other people off as well. Now, this one is a Moe's restaurant that's for sale in the Cleveland, Ohio area, asking $695,000. Now, you can buy this with a down payment as low as $17,375, and an absentee owner of this business would net $182,000 per year. This assumes you take out a 10-year and 11.25% SBA loan after making your 2.5% down payment. Now, I would take that deal after I verified and made sure all the numbers are right. One thing you do want to keep in mind, though, is that a lot of these franchises, even if you're going to be more of an absentee owner, you still have to go through the training program. So you might have to go away for 2 weeks and do some training and make sure you learn everything about running the business. The franchise is going to want to make sure that you're not too far away from the location. So this one's in the Cleveland, Ohio area. If you're in Idaho, it's probably not a good one for you. And packages are even better. If you can get multiple stores all at once, that increases your cash flow, reduces your risk. We just signed a deal for 3 quick service restaurants this week in the Houston, Texas area. And we'll say most kind of quick service, or a lot of these are franchises, those types of stores, they typically don't generate enough cash after paying all the expenses to really be worth your time. I don't want to go through all the effort of acquiring a business that is only going to net $30,000 or $40,000 a year after making all the loan payments. So as you have multiple stores, those profits build up. You are more of like a regional manager of the stores, so you can get much more cash and it's much more worth your while. And then the example in Houston is a good way of how multiple stores can reduce the risk. So one of these stores, they are widening the road right out in front of the restaurant, and that's brought revenue down this year. So they've had a pretty meaningful decline in revenue while the construction's going on, which is understandable. But luckily, overall for the package, revenue's flat because the sales gains in the other 2 stores are able to offset the decline in the one store. So a lot of people have the misconception that doing something small is safer. In almost any instance, doing something bigger is actually safer, because in this instance, if you only owned that one restaurant, your profits are going to be down substantially. But because you own all 3, good things happening at the other 2 stores offset the road construction at the one store. So reach out if you want to talk more. Let us know if you're ready to buy a business, even one that's a franchise.